ahead on 12 News, a new way to reduce and reuse. How Hennepin County is helping residents stock up on cleaning supplies. Plus, a show of support in Maple Grove for a faith community hit hard by tragedy.
We are all brothers and sisters.
But first, controversy grows over the state's first ever wolf hunt. 12 News starts right now. An animal rights group is putting up billboards all across the metro to oppose the first ever wolf hunt in Minnesota.
One of those billboards is expected to go up in Plymouth tomorrow. As Sonia Goins shows us, there's a lot of controversy over the hunt.
Howling for Wolves is taking aim at the state's first ever wolf season by putting up billboards like these.
We felt that we had to push people to action.
Wolves were taken off the federal endangered species list in January. Under state guidelines, the DNR was supposed to wait 5 years before doing a hunt, but the state legislature got rid of the moratorium.
It is way too soon and reckless to start a random wolf trapping and hunting season.
It's a perfectly reasonable and logical management tool.
The DNR says the number of wolves in Minnesota is growing.
We have about 3,000 wolves in the state. That population has been stable or slightly increasing from 2008. So there's definitely an opportunity for us to hunt.
But groups like Howling for Wolves say the numbers are shrinking.
These are not problem wolves. These are not wolves that have had any difficulties with man interaction or livestock interaction. These are random wolves functioning in our northern Minnesota territory where we have actual wolf habitat that, by the way, is dwindling.
A recent survey by the DNR shows nearly 80% of people polled are opposed to the hunt. But the DNR says the hunt will still go on.
There's a great deal of interest in Minnesota to have a wolf hunting season on the part of farmers, ranchers, sportsmen, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it's a reasonable thing to do.
Minnesota wolves are a legacy animal in our state, and we'd like to carry on this legacy for the next generation.
Now, the wolf season starts November 3rd, and hunters will only be allowed to shoot or trap a grand total of 400 wolves. Meanwhile, several animal rights groups say they plan to hold a rally at the DNR on Thursday. Mike and Alex?
All right, thanks, Sonia. A Brooklyn Park neighborhood has revived a tradition months after it was rattled by a triple homicide.
Residents in the College Park neighborhood reunited for National Night Out on Tuesday evening. The neighborhood has endured a lot lately. Last April, Delois Brown and her elderly parents were shot and killed in what police called a targeted crime. Organizers of last night's event say they've already noticed a difference in neighbors getting to know each other better.
It's the first year. We know that it's going to take some time to build up, so really just the goal for this year is to make flashy signs and let people know that we're actually doing stuff down here so that hopefully these events will start to pick up over time.
I think it's absolutely wonderful. Where I'm from, they didn't have this, and I wish they would have.
Ashley moved to Brooklyn Park from Missouri. Brooklyn Park typically has one of the highest participation rates for cities of its size on National Night Out. This year, the city had the highest number of registered block parties ever.
Their faith was tested 6 years ago when the Hindu temple in Maple Grove was vandalized. But this week, the Hindu community of Minnesota came together to honor another religion, those of the Sikh faith. It was a show of support at the Hindu temple after the tragedy of the Sikh temple shootings in Wisconsin. Prayers for peace filled the Hindu temple. As one family of faith reaches out to another.
We must recognize we human beings are all interconnected. We are all brothers and sisters.
The Hindu show of solidarity is a tribute to the Sikh community, brothers and sisters of another faith who lost 6 worshipers August 5th when they were shot down at a temple in suburban Milwaukee.
This is a sad event for all the Sikhs in all over the world.
This gathering is not the only show of support for the Sikh community. SINGH told the crowd their faith is not shaken by the events in Wisconsin, but rather bolstered by the outpouring of concern from people of all faiths, Muslims and Christians, Hindus and Jews.
We have had flowers delivered by the people we don't even know. So that tells us there is more good in this world than bad.
During the time of need and crisis, it is important, absolutely essential, mandatory that we get together and support them. We do the prayers because prayers give the comfort and the strength.
At this Hindu temple, the final prayer is a shared one. As one community of people comes together with faith in the future.
We have to move on, not be afraid.
The Sikh Society of Minnesota will hold its own prayer meeting and candlelight vigil for victims this Friday evening at its temple in Bloomington.
We now know when the next phase of County Road 81 reconstruction will take place. Crystal City officials say the next round of construction will begin next spring. Hennepin County plans to rebuild 81 from Airport Road in Crystal to just north of 63rd Avenue in Brooklyn Park. The Lakeland Avenue frontage road will also be rebuilt. The construction is expected to last about a year.
The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office is looking for a few good citizens who are interested in getting an inside look at how the Sheriff's Department works, and that includes a first-hand glimpse into the crime lab.
We look at ridge shapes, or in this case, pores. This one, the little white opening here, is actual sweat pore.
Scott Henderson says it's not like the TV show CSI where they can solve a crime in under an hour, but there are plenty of high-tech tools at the Sheriff's Crime Lab to catch criminals. He says they're getting better at pulling fingerprints from all sorts of different surfaces like wood, styrofoam, and stone. But getting a print on a gun's trigger is still a pretty good find.
I think the best print I've had since I've been here, I actually developed a fingerprint on the trigger face of a gun, and actually ID'd it to the index finger of the suspect, so which means his finger came in contact with that trigger.
The Crime Lab is just one stop for participants in the Sheriff's Citizens Academy. Students will also see narcotics and patrol operations up close. The class meets every Thursday for 10 weeks starting August 30th, and you can find an application online at hennepinsheriff.org. Still ahead, an extra clean way to save some money.
How you can stock up on cleaning supplies for free. Then later in sports, a local high school football team gets an early start this season as part of the new 0-week concept.
But first, it's a look at your AccuWeather forecast.
just how popular are wings and beer? We'll soon find out as Golden Valley-based Buffalo Wild Wings pilots an ambitious expansion that places the chain in the Middle East. The company announced that it has signed a development agreement that would put 22 restaurants in Saudi Arabia and in the United Arab Emirates. Buffalo Wild Wings has developed a new menu of juices, coffee, and sparkling waters in areas where alcohol can't be served. Its advertising will need some tweaking too, as horse racing and soccer will likely replace American football in its branding strategy overseas. Well, instead of clipping a coupon this week for a household cleaner, there's another place you might want to check first.
Hennepin County gives away several household cleaners and chemicals every week. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains why in today's Money Savers.
Generally speaking, items aren't there 24 hours.
You could call it a Tuesday morning treasure trove.
One work day and they are gone.
The Hennepin County Recycling Center in Brooklyn Park has a giveaway corner for household chemicals.
So it was intended to not only save disposal cost and taxpayer cost, but then save the residents the cost of buying these products.
Last year, Hennepin County gave away 20,000 items to taxpayers, which saved $39,000 in disposal costs.
We've had an incredible response to it.
This is how it works. A product is dropped off. If it isn't a banned or restricted chemical, then someone checks it out.
Does the product appear to be what it says it is? Paints are stirred. Aerosols are sprayed.
Then accepted items go up on the shelf at the Free Product Center Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.
You might be looking for something and it could be regularly there, or it might not be there for days or weeks. So it's a bit of a hunt.
Here at the Free Product Center, you never know exactly what you'll find. It's pretty common to find things like paint, lawnmower oil, wallpaper stripper, grout, and tile sealer. But on a day like today, we also found shower cleaner, furniture polish, dye for clothing, and even Armor All to clean your car.
If you want to use the item in a very short period of time, you might be out of luck. But if you're able to plan ahead for if you've got a project or something coming up and your time allows you to do it, patience, because it's truly the hunt.
You must be over 18 to take an item home. You must also fill out a form noting exactly what you're taking.
Not only has it benefited individuals, but a lot of organizations of new residents, people that are just establishing themselves in a home, immigrants, a lot of nonprofits.
In Brooklyn Park, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
And there are 3 things, Shannon tells us, that you won't find on the shelf at the Free Product Center. No personal hygiene products, nothing pet-related, and no pesticides either. Here's a way to collect some cash. Coming up, a picture-perfect way to win some prize money.
But first in sports, we'll meet the catalyst for the Robbinsdale Little League All-Stars. John Jacobson has that and more when we come back. John Jacobson now with sports. Time to check the calendar, I guess. Football season is already here, and there's people been practicing and working for this for some time.
So far, just one team practicing, though. It's kind of an interesting story, the Hopkins Royals. For most of the high school football teams, their first game of the season is either the Thursday or Friday before Labor Day. But some teams are getting a head start on the season, playing games in the so-called 0 week. That includes the Hopkins Royals, who will play their first game on August 25th. Jason Melillo has more on the Royals' 0 week preparation.
The 2012 football season is underway for the Hopkins Royals. Hopkins is on the field a week before most teams. That's because the Royals will play an early game this season, taking advantage of the 0 week.
There are a couple challenges, when you start a week earlier, sometimes families plan vacations, for that last week right before football. And all of a sudden, switching over to 0 week, this caused a little bit of confusion in that area. But beside that, the kids are doing great. Our weather, it's been hot, but it hasn't been as hot as it was earlier in the summer. So we're able to get a lot of things done, and we've got a good group this year, and it's been a fun experience so far.
Preparation-wise, Hopkins is following its normal preseason routine, but the scheduling change gives the Royals an extra week of 2-a-day practices before school starts, an advantage most teams won't have.
School is a distraction, especially when guys got hard classes and stuff, and they might be bummed because they're not learning the stuff in the class right. But when we get to come out here before school even starts, no one has anything on their mind except for football.
Hopkins' 0 week opponent will come all the way from Texas. Bel Air Episcopal is a small private high school in the Houston area, and it's a pretty good football program. Episcopal is a perennial contender in its conference and has a senior quarterback that's getting looks from several Division I colleges.
Supposedly one of the top 10 quarterbacks there in the state of Texas this year, and he's a big athletic fella. He's a real strong guy and runs real well, and they've got a couple real good athletes too. It's a private school, and they've been real successful.
We're just so excited to be playing a team from Texas and early, and we're just ready to get into the football season.
And beating a team from the state with arguably the best high school football in the country could give Hopkins a nice kickstart to its season. Jason Melillo, 12 Sports.
There are 9 0-week games this season, 8 on Friday, August 24th, and then the Hopkins-Bel Air Episcopal game on Saturday the 25th at 1 o'clock at Hopkins High School. It's been a pretty successful trip so far for the Robbinsdale Little League All-Stars of the Midwest Regional Tournament. Robbinsdale beat DeSoto, Missouri 10-4 in their final pool play game Tuesday night to finish 3-1 in pool games. Donovan Hall had 3 hits and 3 RBIs. Now Robbinsdale is into the semifinals Thursday afternoon against Canyon Lake of South Dakota, the only team that beat them in pool play. That game will be on ESPN. It starts at 1 o'clock Central Time. That's certainly a team effort for Robbinsdale to reach this level, but a leader has emerged from this tight-knit group.
Christian Dixon says basketball is his favorite sport, but he's pretty good at baseball too. The leadoff hitter for Robbinsdale is a good fielder and pitcher and can beat teams with his speed. It's a good combination to have. He is a team leader for this group too.
He's a leader in a wide variety. Emotionally, stays very centered. If he's struggling emotionally, he doesn't let the team see it. So he really helps with a sense of calm on the team, regardless of what's going on. He is a very mature 12-year-old.
It just gives me the opportunity to teach my teammates and also to teach myself what it means to be a team player, and it's a lot of fun.
Christian got a nice surprise Monday when his brother, an airman in the Air Force, showed up for his game against Iowa.
It's fun to see my brother here, and it just motivated me that we needed to get this win. Yeah.
It was a lot of fun seeing them win. It was an added bonus. He had no clue that I was coming, so nice surprise for him too.
He is a fun player to watch, and right now Christian Dixon is loving the summer of baseball.
I have a lot of time to just hang out with my teammates, and it's better to be out with my teammates and having fun than just focusing on getting ready to go back to school.
The more baseball you can play, unless you can think about school, the better it is, I guess, when you're that age, right? But nice group of kids, and good luck to them Thursday.
Absolutely.
Thanks, John.
We're still ahead, why it's a perfect time to snap a few pictures in Plymouth.
We are back in just a moment.
All summer, we've been showing you 3 things you may not have known about cities here in the Northwest Metro. And on Thursday on 12 News, we bring you our final installment of 3 things as we highlight Golden Valley.
And so they built this one-room church, and they began having religious services from a horseback riding preacher who came from St. Anthony in the Maine.
The origin of the Little White Church in Golden Valley is just one of the tidbits that we'll feature on Thursday's edition of 3 Things. Blaine Cleveland will have the full story, which includes history that dates back to the late 1800s. Well, finally, we fast forward to the present now with a story that could net someone some decent prize money.
The City of Plymouth and Plymouth Magazine are once again hosting a photo contest. Now here's a look at some of last year's winning photos. There are 5 different categories that you can enter in: nature, landmarks, people, pets, and activities. All photos must be taken in Plymouth, and entries must be submitted by the end of the month. For rules and more details, you can go to plymouthmagazine.com, and there is cash on the line. The grand prize winner receives $100 and a $100 gift card from National Camera. I'm always impressed by the quality of the photos that win.
Yeah, the amateurs, but they come up with the neat shots.
Good looking shots.
Yeah.
That's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Stay with us. Community Corner is coming up next. We'll see you back here tomorrow beginning at 4.